Hello everyone and welcome to the Carcode YouTube channel. Before I start this video, I want to say a huge thank you to Telford, Citroen and DS of Carlisle for making this review possible. Today I'm going to be doing a review on the Citroen C5X. Let's get into the video. On the outside of the C5X you have an option of 6 different exterior colours. This is the Amazonite grey and it's got kind of a greeny tinge to it, sort of a khaki colour. My personal favourite is the magnetic blue. I think it's the brightest out there. Citroen have gone a little bit more toned down, a little bit more classy with the colours on the C5X, and the lower, cheaper cars are in the more fun colours. Of course, all LED lighting technology now, like most manufacturers have moved to in the last few years, which is excellent technology. Looks really good. I quite like having the lights quite low down like this as well. It's not for everyone's taste having that with the ones on top. I know there's many manufacturers that kind of do the 2-stage lighting now, but Citroen have done it for quite some time, so it's nice that they're continuing this design on the C5X, even when they go into premium cars as well. So moving on to wheels on the C5X, they're all 19 inches and you have 2 different designs. These are on the Shine and Shine Plus, which is the model here, and they're all the Aero X wheels. This one is in the Onyx Black with the Onyx Black inserts, a nice size wheel, and they haven't gone silly with huge wheels. Of course, as well, being a Citroen, it's going to have that comfortable suspension, which is excellent to have. It's a great system and you're going to have a comfortable ride, which is really good, and an underrated thing in a car is to have comfortable ride. You've got quite a decent sidewall on the tyre as well, and it still looks like a large enough wheel for the car. To the back of the C5X, you can see it's got that real coupe shape. You have these lights that extend out, which is a really nice look to the car. I really like this glass section as well, with the kind of graphic here as well. That was brought in on the C3 Aircross, and it's something that's nice that's come along. You've got this sort of chrome floating section here as well, and the floating roof line continues on. You've also got this gloss black spoiler, so it's got a sporty look, but mostly an elegant, classy look, which looks really nice, and it sort of harks back to a lot of other Citroens as well, which is nice. You can see it is quite a large, long vehicle. Like many manufacturers are doing, they're spelling out the model or make of the car across the back of the boot lid, and they've done it in a classy way. The letters aren't massive or anything in your face. The rear camera here, I don't know what this button is, but there is other cars that kind of hide it a little bit better. It does feel like a bit of a block. Of course, when the number plate is on there, it will be a little less noticeable, but that might just be one thing to note about this car. Of course, in your Volkswagen Group products, you have the badge that flips up with the camera. Of course, that's a complicated system, so I'm sure this is a lot easier if there's any issues with it, but it is always exposed, so it's just something to be aware of. Overall, the design of the C5X is really nice. It's sort of wide and a long vehicle, so it does hark back a lot to the luxurious Citroens of the past, which is quite nice. Citroen recently has become quite fun with small cars and crossovers, which is really great, but of course this can appeal to customers that were used to cars like the Citroen C6 that were more luxurious cars, and that's definitely the feel of this car. Stepping inside the C5X, and it's a very comfortable car, and that's the whole vibe you get from it. You do have electric memory seats on the C5X on this Shine Plus model as well. Just to show you, the seats are very comfortable and supportive. Some seats will hug you in a little bit more and be a bit sporty, but of course Citroen is going for a comfortable feel, which is fine, and they do feel like you're sitting on a comfortable chair at home. You've got adjustable lumbar support electronically on this one. Armrest is quite comfortable. It's quite flat, so there's not any adjustment in it, but to be fair, like on lots of cars, it's one of those that will suit most drivers where it is, so I don't really have many complaints. You've got this little cubby here, I'm not too sure what that's for. You've got 2 cup holders there. The piano black I'm not a huge fan of because it can get scratchy and hard to clean and see fingerprints and everything like that. But other than that, the materials are quite nice. You do have a nice light headlining as well, which again, it's going back to that comfortable living vibe of Citroen. If you're looking for something that needs to be very comfortable, then a Citroen is a good way to go. You've also got your paddles on here as well. The gearbox on the C5X is the 8-speed ZF automatic gearbox, which is used by many manufacturers now, from the likes of Lamborghini. It's a traditional torque converter gearbox, and it's known for its quick shift in action, and like I say, it's used from many premium brands, BMW, Mercedes, using it, so it's a very good transmission. You've got your little drive modes on here as well. You do sit quite high up, which is quite nice. Of course, not high up as a traditional SUV, but you still have that sort of increase in ride height. Your centre touchscreen is 12-inch on the Shine and Shine Plus and 10 inches on the Sense Plus. 12 inches, it's huge. As you can see there, you've got quite a large navigation screen. The smaller screen would be absolutely fine. You've got your volume control as well. You do have a bit of shiny black plastic here, but you have physical climate controls, which are nice. They feel a little plasticky, I'd say that, compared to other ones, but overall it's a little bit more user-friendly than a lot of other cars out there. You do have this slidey thing as well, wireless phone charging. Overall, it's very nice. I really like Stellantis's gear selectors as well. They make a lot of sense and they light up and just nice and out of the way. It's much better than a Mercedes gear stick or ones that are big and clunky. Overall, the interior of the C5X is nice and comfortable. The steering wheel will also work for everyone. Everyone can pretty much get a good driving position because you can go quite high up. With a manual seat, you can do this as well, low down. And the steering wheel has got adjustment in it as well, in, out and up and down, and it goes up quite high, so that can be an issue on the Peugeot where it kind of isn't up because your dials and everything are always above it, whereas this is more of a conventional layout which will work for a lot of people. The tailgate is electric on this Shine Plus model, and you can see the boot is really large. In fact, it's 485 litres, which for a plug-in hybrid SUV is almost class leading. It's bigger than the Tiguan's 476 on the plug-in hybrid. It's bigger than the Peugeot 408's 471 litre boot, and it's much bigger even than the Ford Kuga plug-in hybrid, which only has 411 litres. So it's significantly a large boot. You can see there you've got a little bit of storage for your tyre inflation kit, etc. Cables if you needed to put them under there as well. And you've got these ridges to slide things in, so it's quite practical. You do also have your releases on here for your rear seats, which is a very handy feature and some that some manufacturers have got rid of recently, so that's really good. I do like this chrome scuff plate as well on the back. It's got the same thing as the 408, which has got quite a large plastic bumper at the back, which can be good, I guess, for light scratches and things like that, which could come up on paint. They won't necessarily come up on here, but it's just something to bear in mind. It's not for everyone. This is the parcel shelf. It's a load cover style, but it is kind of a see-through material, so that might not be the best if you're worried about seeing in. Of course, a spare wheel is not in the car, but it's not really in most cars now anyway. So for a boot space for a coupe SUV plug-in hybrid, it's very good. In the back of the C5X, you've got plenty of space because you've got quite a long wheelbase on the car. You've also got quite a bit of headroom, even though it's got that coupe-like shape. Let's have a look at the centre armrest. Quite a decent sized centre armrest. You've got cup holders, a little slot here as well. You've also got the through loading as well, although it's very tight there, but better than not having it at all. You've got the nice zips for the ISOFIX points as well. I do worry a little bit about the longevity of those, as they might kind of snag or what have you, but they're done quite well. Perhaps not as well as the Peugeot though. Yeah, they were a bit smoother on the Peugeot. The hype black ambience, as they call it, with the leather is rather nice. This is on the Shine Plus model as standard. On the Shine model, it's a £1,600 option. You get sort of a half cloth, half leather on that car, which I think is quite nice anyway, but if someone is wanting for the more premium leather materials, you want to go for Shine Plus, or you can opt for it on Shine. I'll show you the seats as well. They do go pretty flat, which is okay, not bad. The middle seat is pretty comfortable as well because it's wide enough. You've got 2 USB-C ports here in the back as well, some air vents. Overall, quite nice for rear passengers in the back of the C5X. I don't have any issues with it, really. The 1.2 PureTech engine that was in the C5X is no longer available. You just have this 1.6 turbocharged 4-cylinder. Combined with the electric motors, it puts out 221 brake horsepower. That's good for 0 to 60 in under 8 seconds, so it's a pretty nippy vehicle. Of course, it is a large vehicle, so it does need that power behind it to go. So it's good that they've kept it in this one. If you did want the smaller engine, you can get that in the C5 Aircross, C4 and many other of the Citroen and Stellantis vehicles as well. So throughout the whole of Stellantis, they've got a lot of cars with that engine in, but as they are going for more premium, it makes sense that they're going for the plug-in hybrid. They can charge more for plug-in hybrid and make more on them as well and justify the price tag, which I'll move on to in a little bit. You do have just a normal bonnet strut, as we're seeing on most cars now. And it's quite a long bonnet. Charging the C5X might be something that you need to know, as now they're all plug-in hybrids with the 225 output, which is 221 brake horsepower. It can charge in around 2 hours fully because it's 7.4 kilowatts it can go in, and it's really good that it's placed at the rear of the car. That is a great thing. It's also on the off side, which is great because your fuel is on the driver's side, which is swapped over, which is great. I'll show you plugging it in. Of course, it's just a normal Type 2 port for the plug-in hybrid cars, like most plug-in hybrids. As well, most plug-in hybrids don't go as fast as an EV, but you simply plug it in. It's got the instructions on here as well of what you need to do and what everything's doing, which is really nice. Lots of EVs or plug-in vehicles leave you thinking, is it charging, is it not, what's going on? And then obviously you can unplug it and just shut it, and of course it will lock when the car's locked, and when you're charging it will lock. How much will the C5X set you back? Well, it starts at just under £37,000 now because it's just plug-in hybrid. It's no longer just a normal petrol, and that makes sense as it is quite a large vehicle and aimed to be more luxurious. It might sound like quite a bit of money for a Citroen, but if you think about it, it's not too bad compared to the market. It's cheaper than the Volkswagen Golf GTE. Which would I prefer? Well, to be fair, you know, I'm young, I've got a Golf myself, so I prefer a smaller car. But most families and most people would say this is a lot more car for the money. It goes up to just over 40,000. There is a few options that you can add on, but most of the things are included with the vehicle. But if you're looking for something a little bit different, the C5X is definitely a good option to look at, as you don't see a lot of them on the road, and it could help a lot with low running costs and the low benefit in kind tax if you're a company car driver as well. If you have any questions about this video, please just pop them in the comments down below. Again, another thanks to the Telfords group in Carlisle, Citroen and DS for making this review possible. Thank you for watching, and I hope to see you in my next review.